Do you sometimes feel like life didn't turn out the way you expected, hoped, or planned for when you were younger? I used to struggle with this thought for years, always living under the impression that I am not where I was supposed to be at this stage in life. In this episode, I want to cover how I managed to abandon my old mindset and started being aware of the fact that in reality my life unfolded the way it was meant to. I will be looking at three aspects that are the most important to me. That is my inner world, my love life, and my career.
I did a mistake of not paying attention to what was going on inside of me for most of my life. I thought that my emotions were free to manifest themselves the way they wanted and that I had no power over them, so I carried with me all my childhood trauma, the anger, the aggressivity, and the helplessness attitude that I had in me. I was scaring the people away with my defensive way of being, but still I felt entitled to be the way I was because life was harsh on me from the beginning. I was encouraging myself to always keep my guard up so that no one could hurt me again like they did when I was a child. I built a huge wall between myself and others, but life, even though it might seem ruthless sometimes, it always takes care of us. Due to all the suffering I had inside, I discovered psychology, counseling, and spirituality. And I started my still ongoing introspection process. I started being aware of my thoughts, and I've discovered that we have full control over our emotions. I've learned to let go of the past, forgive those who caused me pain, and love myself. I decided to start all over again and give myself another chance, the chance to be happy, peaceful, and kind. To be honest, I never expected that I will get so far when it comes to my inner world. I was sure that my frustrations will follow me for the rest of my life. Instead, I find myself surrounded by light, filled with the desire to unconditionally love and support others, spread positivity, and fight for good causes. I am slowly but surely becoming my own role model, and I am very happy about that. I am 35 years old and still not married nor have any children yet. I must find someone quick as I want to be a mother and a wife as soon as possible. Most of my friends are married, have kids or both, and look at me still alone, even though there's nothing that I wish more than to give my love to someone. This is what I was repeating myself almost on a daily basis until not long ago. Whilst I still wish to give my love to someone who deserves it, I grew to realize that everything happens when it's meant to happen. Looking back and analyzing objectively my past relationships, none of those men would have been the right fit for me. So I am grateful that things went bad, because that way I was spared from a potentially noxious relationship. Also, I used to be obsessed with the thought of being a mother, so I wasn't even that bothered about who the father of my child would be. I was determined to raise the child alone if the relationship would have failed. I hope you managed to notice how irrational and selfish my stream of thought was. I was focused on fulfilling my maternal instinct at the cost of choosing a bad father for my child. That's what happens when you let yourself carried by desperation and the pressure of the society. Luckily, working on my inner world helped me not only heal past trauma, which was affecting my relationship, but also to understand certain dynamics. So now my intent is to make sure that I choose the best father possible for my children. So altogether, I am happy that my love life didn't turn out the way I expected, because what I expected wasn't what I needed. Now I feel truly ready to build my own family because I am in a much better place mentally and emotionally, and I can make decisions in a wiser and more mature way. When I was in my early 20s, I thought that I wanted prestige and a role which would have provided me a certain status. I wanted people to recognize my value. I wanted to be noticed. After I took a role which was leading me in the direction wanted, conflicting feelings started to emerge inside of me. A part of me was telling me that I took the wrong turn. Now let's see what exactly happened there. My wish for status and recognition was originating from my childhood trauma when my mother didn't give me enough attention, and as a child I felt very neglected. So choosing a pretentious career path was my only way to get back some of that acknowledgement which was lacking in my life. Of course, at a conscious level, I wasn't aware of all this. After going ahead with this idea, my true self started to scream from underneath the surface, and a sense of mental discomfort started to arise. Why was this confusion even present in my head if I was doing the job I wanted to do? I started questioning my choices. It took me few years to understand the process and adjust my life. That's what happens to most of us, really. We carry our trauma with us and take decisions based on that. And then eventually we realize who our authentic self is and start all over again. If we are brave enough, of course. Obviously, years have passed, and now we feel like we didn't achieve what we hoped to achieve by this age. But I truly believe that the main thing is to stay true to whom we are and follow the path which matches our true self, no matter how late. By now, I could have been a branch manager for an important bank or even higher. However, here I am now, trying to obtain my counseling diploma and making videos on YouTube. I could have been at this stage 15 years ago, when I was 20, if only I wouldn't have taken huge life decisions based on my childhood trauma. Or, on the other side, I could have never started the right career path if I wouldn't have realized what was at the base of all my choices. So can I blame myself for not being where I was hoping to be? Blame myself because I allowed my trauma to decide my life for me? And where I was hoping to be? In a bank? If you would have asked me when I was a child, what do I want to do when I will grow up? I would have answered, I want to help people. I want to protect others. And I want to make movies. I love the camera. I love creating stories. I want to be a director, an actor, and write my own scripts. That is what I would have answered you. And even if 15 years in delay, I am now in harmony with my genuine passions. And that alone is enough to make me stop feeling sorry for not being where I was hoping to be, which, at the end of the day, wasn't even the right place for me.
Look inside of you and stay loyal to your true self. That's the only way if you want to lead a mentally healthy life free of regrets. See you next time.